We got more Elon Musk drama. We got more Elon Musk drama. More baby mama drama for Elon. More baby mama drama for Elon. You know he gets a pass because he's white, and that's just what it is. All right. That's just what it is. So apparently, Elon Musk says he's already given 2.5 mil to his assumed to be baby mama. He said, "I don't know if the child is mine or not, but I'm not against finding out. No court order is needed. Despite not knowing for sure, I have given Ashley 2.5 million and I'm sending her 500K a year. If I'm not mistaken, the baby isn't even 1 year old yet." So that's what he had to say for his like fourth baby mama, and he has like 14 kids now. Um, Somebody said, "Not our step president having baby mama issues. He only gets a pass because he's white. Apparently, it's not. Apparently, baby daddy, baby mama culture is okay if you're white. But if you're white, it's okay. If you're black, it's not." Then she responded, "Elon, we asked you to confirm paternity through a test before our child, who you named was even born. Through a test before our child, who you named was even born, you refused, and you weren't sending me money. You were sending support for your child that you thought was necessary, until you withdraw most of it to maintain control and punish me for disobedience. But you're only punishing your son. It's ironic that your last effort in court was to try to gag me while I use a social media channel. You literally own to distribute derogatory messages about me and our child to the entire world. It's all about control, and everyone can see it. America needs you to grow up, you peccant man child." So that was her response. And honestly, like, I mean, he's not in his other kid's life. We only see Elon with that one little kid, and that's it, the little boy kid. We only see Elon with one kid. We don't see him with any more. So what did she think? Like, oh, he's gonna raise this one? No, he doesn't want to be in the kid's life. He has no interest. You are a nut. That's it. As you can see, Elon has a big family tree. He has 6 on the left, another 2 on the right. That's 8. Another 2 in the middle. That's 10. Another 4 on the left, bottom. That's 14. And then Ashley's makes 15 kids. So Elon's an amazing family man, and I'm sure conservative Republicans love this. You know, baby mama drama. A lot of babies, no dad. Is what it is, you know. And yeah, that's Elon's baby mama drama. You know, like he gets a pass because he's white, and that's is what it is. If he was black, he would not be able to have 15 kids and be somehow next to the president. You could probably say it's also because of his money, you know. But that's Elon's thing, you know, making kids with everyone, spaceships that go nowhere, subsidies from the government. That's his thing. So you know, that's what else can we hope for with Elon? I have really nothing else to say about that. We can move on to
These guys are
these Democrats that think we don't know they're undercover Republicans. Democrats are really undercover Republicans. I'm telling you, like Gavin Newsom is given an undercover Republican, but he's just a Democrat to conceal his actual thoughts in some spaces. Let's watch this.
crushing us. The Democratic brand is toxic right now. We had a high water mark 2 weeks ago, and that was a CNN poll at 29% favorability. It's dropped in the NBC poll down to 27%. It's one thing to make noise, but you also have to make sense. And I think with this podcast and having the opportunity to dialogue with people I disagree with, it's an opportunity to try to find common ground and not take cheap shots. I'm not looking to put a spoke in the wheel of their, or at least a crowbar in the spokes of their wheel to trip them up, to your point. And I think it's important. Democrats, we tend to be a little more judgmental than we should be.
We tend to be a little more judgmental than we should be. I don't see that. I see Democrats letting everybody in on the surface, because we know that a lot of Democratic white people will conceal their racism instead of being open about it like Republicans are, right? So you won't even know a Democrat's racist until you actually talk to them in private. But anyway, I don't see that. LGBTQ, The Democrats are inviting everybody in. He's talking about judgmental. The Republicans are really judgmental. By the way, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm in the middle. But if I had to choose who's more judgmental than who, I would say the Democrats are pretty much more open than the Republicans. So he's changing his whole. Gavin Newsom is changing his tune because they lost the election. So he's going to finally reveal that he's not a Democrat. He's actually a Republican.
This notion of cancel culture, you've been living it. You've been on the receiving end of it for years and years and years. That's real. And Democrats need to own up to that. These guys are crushing us. The Democratic brand is toxic right now. We had a high water mark 2 weeks ago, and that was a CNN.
These guys are crushing us. The Democratic brand is toxic right now. No, it's always been toxic. You guys suck. Just like the Republicans, you both suck. Two wings of the same bird. You know, the problem with Republicans, he doesn't want to change. The Democrats, some reason he wants to paint his nails. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Both liars. All they do is lie. Like you both suck, really. That's why less people voted than last year. I mean, than last election. Less people voted less in this election than the last election. I know. Don't believe all that. Oh, the landslide. Yeah, Trump may have, won against Kamala, but a lot less people are voting. A lot less people are believing in the system as they should. It sucks. But I really do believe Democrats are undercover Republicans. I really do believe Democrats are undercover Republicans. It just feels like they're just not being upfront about their racism or about how they really feel. That's why when the reparations topic comes up, it's never, oh yeah, we're going to give black people the reparations. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really how I feel. Like, look at Gavin Newsom right here. Very, very weird. Let's go to Cardi B though, right? So Cardi B, she's still going through the trying to get divorced from Offset, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, all right? It says, Winnie on Facebook, she's amazing. It says, I see why Offset won't sign those divorce papers. I wouldn't either. Cardi B is about to increase her bag on a big scale globally, right? Right now she's doing something. According to the CEO of Revolve Group, Cardi B will be focusing on things that bring her personal joy, such as hair care, skincare, makeup, and clothing, while they scale it all globally. So Cardi B really don't want that. She's not gonna be out an album. She's about to join the hair care industry, skincare industry, makeup industry, clothing industry. I mean, she's already a model. They plan on especially focusing in Japan and South Korea. There must be a big bag we must not be aware of yet in Japan and Korea because if you recall, Meg Thee Stallion also have a few businesses ventures loading there. Cardi B has been toying with the idea of releasing a hair care line on her social media for a while now, and it looks like it's finally in the works. So Cardi B is moving away from music, and she's trying to get into hair. She's trying to get into clothes. She's trying to get into skincare. You know what I'm saying? She's moving away from that because she sees, I'll be honest with you, she probably doesn't have it in her to do music, continue it, because she don't want to release an album. And she's like, yo, there's a bigger bag over here. I don't got to split this bag with a label. I do want to point something out, though, and I have to point it out about Cardi B. And I'm only pointing out that she is doing the symbolic black and white Illuminati symbolism. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh, she's not in the Illuminati. Yeah, she may not be in the Illuminati per se, but there's people behind her going, hey, Cardi B's with us. Okay, Cardi B is with us. It's symbolism. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying she's in the Illuminati. I don't even think Cardi B even knows what this is. I don't even think she understands the symbolism right here, the black and white, right? The black stands for ignorance. The white is for enlightenment. That's where the Illuminati comes from. Okay, so I don't even think Cardi B knows that. But like, I'll give you another example. Like if you look at her Invasion of Privacy album, right? Invasion of let's see. Invasion of Privacy album, right? They had her doing the same album. They had her doing the same thing. Even there, look, the one-eye symbolism, right? Like what you just saw, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Cardi B knows what she's doing, but I'm saying the people behind her, they're not playing, okay? They're serious. They mean business. Whenever you see the black and white checkerboard, that's symbolism for these secret societies. That's definitely symbolism. Let's see. But why is it doing all this? My God, I'm trying to show y'all. So you see, like her invasion of privacy. Oh my God, why is it doing all this? Why is it doing all this? Hold on, guys. Okay, back. So you see Cardi B's Invasion of Privacy album. The black and white, I'll tell you what it represents. The black, okay, so I'm not saying Cardi B is the Illuminati, but I'm going to tell you the symbolism. The black represents ignorance. The white represents enlightenment, right? This is where the Illuminati comes from. Illumination, enlightenment, you know what I'm saying? Duality, as above, so below, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you ever see the statue where it goes like this, one hand up and the other hand down, but yeah, so that's what this is. It's just symbolism to say, hey, Cardi B is with us. She's ours, okay? She's ours. She's our asset. This is ours. It's like when you go to it's like if you go to Dunkin' Donuts and the worker behind the counter is wearing a Dunkin' Donuts shirt or whatever. They're saying, hey, I'm with Dunkin' Donuts. This is my thing, right? The higher ups you have to wear that because it lets people know you're with us. You're a worker here. That's what that is. So that's the same thing here with the symbolism, right? So I just want to give you guys that little. I'm not saying she's Illuminati. I'm just saying like, hey, symbolism is real, and that's what it is. Like, that's what this is. So anyway, I hope Cardi B is able to get divorced from Offset. He's annoying, and he definitely has less money, less fame, and that is what it is. She's the bigger superstar. She has more money, has more of a net worth, and he's not. Right now, Offset is trying to hold on to the. Right now, Offset is trying to hold off on the divorce because he understands that Cardi's about to touch a bigger bag with all the ventures she got going on, the skincare industry, clothing industry, all of that. So he understands she's about to touch a bigger bag. So he's going to divorce her after she gets that bag so he gets more money. That's what Offset is trying to do right now. Hopefully she can make it out of there, but it's looking like she about to touch a big bag, bigger than what she already has. And she already has a huge bag. Cardi B gave Offset $500K one time for his birthday, $2 million for his birthday, like a big bag. I've never seen Offset give her that much money for her birthday. But we gonna get on to something else. So this is woman, right? Apparently some guy stole her car and she went on a date with him. She went on a date with him and he stole her car, right? It says, a woman recently shared a concerning experience where a man she went on a date with stole her car. He asked for the keys under the pretext of retrieving his phone from her vehicle. When he didn't return, she discovered her car was missing. So he asked for the keys under the pretext of retrieving his phone from her vehicle. So he's saying, I left my phone in your car. Let me go get it. She gave him the keys. When he didn't return, she discovered her car was missing. Fortunately, she received a ride from the police, but the man and her car remained missing. So we're going to listen to this story right now. Let's see what she got to say.
Up because he said his son had his Grand Wagoner. I picked him up downtown Royal Oak. We went to a nice restaurant. Vibes was good. He looking for his phone. He think he left his phone in my car. Do I mind giving him my keys so he can go to my car and get his phone? Hey y'all, I went on a date with this guy. I had to pick him up because he said his son had his Grand Wagoner. I picked him up downtown Royal Oak. We went to a nice restaurant. Vibes was good. He looking for his phone. He think he left his phone in my car. Do I mind giving him my keys so he can go to my car and get his phone? No problem. I gave him the keys. He was gone for like 10, 15 minutes and he stole my car. This where my car was parked at. Now I gotta call the police. How I'ma get home? Hey y'all, I went on a date with this guy.
It's not
I
funny,
had to pick him up because he said his son had his Grand Wagoner.
It's not funny.
I picked him up downtown Royal Oak.
Do
We
not
went to
give
a
no
nice
in your car.
restaurant. Vibes was good.
Okay, these guys are broke. They're broke. They don't have money. They're broke. There's another video. Hold on. Fuck. Hold on, hold on. They're broke. Don't give them your car. That's. I left my. I left my phone in your car. Can I get the keys? No. Shouldn't trust him, even if he was a woman.
I had to catch an Uber to one of my family. It's thunderstorming real bad here in Detroit. And I had to go to one of my family member house and get a spare key. I'm home now. I went over his house with the police. He wasn't there. So I'm back home because it's raining real bad. But at this point, I'm doing street justice. I done called my cousins and then we going back over there tonight. I had to catch an Uber to one of my family.
No, don't do street. Just keep it with the police. Don't do street justice. Don't get yourself in jail because of a guy. Like, don't do that. He stole her car. He definitely did that. And he probably sold it or took the tires or something. Somebody said she's so damn stupid. She kind of is. But you don't give no man your car. You don't give no man your keys. Like, you don't do that. That's just something you don't do, right? Right? Even your problematic faves, you should follow them. Even they are saying, why as a woman would you agree to pick up a man for a first date? If you have to pick him up, that's bad. I'll be honest with you. He's probably really broke. And she looks like she's in her 30s. So I'm assuming he's in her 30s because women usually they're older men. He should have his own car. Or at least a Uber or something. And you let him get your car keys. Okay? Men are broke. Most men are broke and don't have money, don't have cars, don't have houses. Like you shouldn't let this happen. You don't get your car stolen by some man. Okay? You just don't do that. That's just not good for business. You don't do that. So she got her car stolen. And we're gonna see what happens with that, but just don't do that. Okay? Everybody's broke out here. Or at least the men, because the women seem to find money somehow. She got her own car. What I just said, women find money. She got her own car. She don't need him to pick her up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, people, come on. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? There was something else I want to show you guys. It was here. Oh, this right here. So apparently Trump, I'll read it right here. It says, the Trump administration acknowledged late Monday that it had inadvertently deported a man to El Salvador last month despite a court's determination that he had a legit fear of persecution in his home country. I thought this was the guy. Oh, damn. I don't think this is it. I thought this was about the guy that it was a guy that didn't belong. He wasn't an illegal, and they ended up deporting him anyway. Let's listen to what Joe has to say. Hold on. Let's see if this is the right video.
But that's also when mistakes get made.
Right.
And I think a human being being plucked out of nowhere and ending up in a country he's never been in a maximum security prison with gang members, seems like a bad thing to happen to me.
So this is it. Yeah, they ended up deporting a guy who had nothing to do with nothing, no crime, no illegal, and he's in El Salvador in a maximum security prison, and this is a mistake. Could you imagine that happening to you? Could you imagine, like, you're put in where there's a bunch of gangs everywhere, guys who are ready for violence, and they ended up by mistake taking you there. Hopefully this guy survives and is able to come back to America, but like it's mistakes like this that can't happen.
It's horrific. It's horrific.
I don't think that should be controversial.
No, that's not controversial at all. And this is the thing, measured twice, cut once.
Yeah.
This is kind of crazy that could be possible. That's horrific. And that's bad for the cause. Like the cause is let's get the gang members out. Everybody agrees. But let's not innocent gay hairdressers get lumped up with the gangs. And then like how long before that guy can get out? Can we figure out how to get him out? Is there any plan in place to alert the authorities that they've made a horrible mistake and correct it?
Well, if you think about it from a government perspective, and this is where I think it gets quite sinister, is once you've done that, the incentive structure is never going to be to admit that and deal with it. The incentive structure is to say nothing, to cover it up, to pretend it didn't happen,
But
right?
that is horrible.
So someone ends up in a black hole, but that's also when mistakes get made.
Right.
And I think a human being...
Yeah, you can't make mistakes like that. Like, hopefully he gets back safely, but like whatever he just went through, hopefully he didn't get hurt. I'm assuming something happened to the guy because he doesn't belong in prison anyway. So now he's surrounded by men and gangs in one of the most horrific, dangerous prisons on planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? In El Salvador. So you don't do that. Mistakes like that just can't happen, man. You know? What else? What else is there? Do I want to look at anything else? Oh, there was one more thing, actually. There was one more thing. Let me see something. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there was one more thing I want to look at, actually. It's that comedian woman. It's gonna be the last topic. It's that comedian woman. It's that comedian. Yeah, I know who I'm talking about. She basically said that like uh black men appreciate women more because she's a white tea woman who's a boss babe or some ish like that. And apparently the white men didn't appreciate that about her. Um, so she was saying that like, hey, like they appreciate me more. Oh. They appreciate me more, you know. Oh. Me personally, I don't think we don't give women enough credit. Like women can definitely be leaders. But before we go on to that, bro, we gotta look at Christine Rock, bro. Christine Rock, bro. This is nasty. I feel so bad for Christine's son. Like, she drank, she smoked when she had him. You know, Act said one time they were on a phone call and she was literally smoking. I think it was a cigarette or something like that, allegedly, or something like that. But everybody around her knows, like, this woman did all types of all types of anything while he was in her stomach, and now the kid looks like this. So the story here is basically like this. These pics on top are fake and filtered, but the bottom is actually what the son really looks like. And as you can tell, the baby clearly has some issues. Clearly, right? Like, look at the face. The kid clearly has issues, right? But Christine was just drinking and smoking with him. So it's like, he had no choice but to come out like this. The top is pics with filters on it that she posted on Snapchat. So people are saying, hey, these are fake. You know? His birthday just passed, by the way. But like, I feel so bad for the kid. Christine is nasty. Like, Christine is nasty. A very nasty woman. She's never going to change, and she's always just going to be like this. She had this baby because she wanted Blueface. She wanted to be attached to Blueface forever. That's why she had this baby. But the baby stood no chance. Like, look at the baby. You can tell something wrong with this baby. You can tell something is wrong with this baby. Look at the baby, bro. All she was doing was drinking and smoking when he had her in her gut. And now she's posting these pics on top, which are filtered pics, not real pics. The bottom is what the baby actually looks like. Very nasty of her, you know, very nasty of Christine, but everybody's allowed to have kids, so this is where we at. Let's move on. Let's just move on. I didn't want to talk about Omarion or nothing like that. I didn't want to talk about that. Hold on, people. Very nasty of Christine, okay? Very nasty. Let me see. I'm looking for it, but the topic with the comedian. Um, let me see. Let me see if I can find it, guys. Hopefully y'all are enjoying this one. I think we got, what do we got through? We got through like 5 topics. We got through like 5 topics. Not too bad, not too shabby. Um, I'm working on posting more too. Uh, I'm trying to find it. You know, like Christine had that kid to just keep the kid and just like, hey, she loves Blueface. I think she loves Blue. I don't think the way you drinking and smoking while there's a kid in your stomach, like it's just okay. Here it is. Here it is. I found it, guys. I'm about to put it up for you guys right now. Let me see if I can. Uh, Here we go. Stay with me, guys. I'm trying to do it right for you guys. All right. So, okay. So Chelsea Handler, right? So look. Okay. So Chelsea Handler said that. So Chelsea Handler said that. She said that. Okay. So Chelsea Handler says that black men like masculine white women. She said black men in general seem to appreciate women like me more than white men. There seems to be a disconnect between strong, powerful white men and strong, beautiful, powerful white women. She said that the behavior that she exhibits that often turn off white men tend to be appreciated by black men. I'm a lot of woman. I say what I want, and there's reasons that threatens a lot of men, and they think I'm too loud or too brass, but I'm just acting like a man. I'm acting like myself. And it's similar to what a man would do. There's something about black men that like that. So Max said basically like, yo, hey, like y'all black men online, which I see all the time, hey, we don't like masculine women, we don't like assertive women, we don't like women that want to be the boss. But if it's a white woman, they'll accept it. And that is true. A white woman can definitely be assertive and dominant, and black men will be okay with that because she's white. But if a black woman does it, it's wrong. You know what I'm saying? If a black woman wants to be assertive, or if she wants to be a little less submissive, right? In a not a weird way, but in a very cordial way, black men will say, "Oh, we don't like that," but they'll take it from a white woman, right? Where's the video? Let's see.
Women like me more. Black men in general, and this is a generalization, seem to appreciate women like me more than white men. There seems to be a disconnect between strong, powerful white men and strong, powerful white women. There feels like I'm a lot of woman. I say what I want to say. I do what I want to do. And that for some reason threatens a lot of men. There's a certain type of men that don't like that. They think I'm too loud or I'm too brass but I'm just acting like a man. You know, I'm not acting like anything. I'm acting like myself, and it's similar to what a man would do, and which would be fine. And there's something about black men that like that. They think that's cute, and they're turned on by my outrageousness or the fact that I don't give a fuck or that I want, you know, that I'll say the thing. And so I like that. So there doesn't feel like such an imbalance. There's definitely like a cultural thing where black men, it feels like they appreciate that kind of thing more.
Yeah. So that's what she had to say. It's more of a thing where it's not even that I'll be honest with you, it's really sad. Like if they were to be honest, if black men were to be honest, they'd be like, yeah, they appreciate assertiveness and more bossy attitude from white women than black women. They don't accept it from black women because they're black. To be honest, if black women were to be honest, they don't accept the bossy and assertiveness that they would accept from a white woman because they only accept that whiteness from a white woman because she's white. They're not going to accept it from a black woman because she's black. So if they were to be honest, they would say that. But she's speaking her truth. That's what it is. She's not, when she says this, she's not lying. You see it online all the time of how much they'll say, hey, we only want feminine, we don't want assertiveness, we don't want baby mamas. Bro, the baby mamas are out here getting niggas. Like, what are you talking about? Like, she's a white woman telling you her experience. She's telling you that, hey, when I'm with black men, they like my assertiveness, they like my bossy attitude. But a black man will go online and say, hey, I don't like that. And black women are masculine, and black women are this, and black women are that. But they'll take it from a white woman because she's white. It's sad, bro. Like, all that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Problem Mag is right. All that, like, oh, they'll say black women are masculine and they're not submissive, but they'll take it from a white woman because she's white. You know what I'm saying? If they were to be really honest, they would tell you that. But they're not ever going to say that because it sounds very bad and nasty. It sounds very cuck-like, so they're not going to say it. But if black men were to be honest, they would say, hey, we don't want that masculine energy from black women, but we'll take it from white women. If they were to be honest. You see it all the time. Personally, me, if we vibe and you're a little assertive or a little, masculine in a sense of you're not that much submissive, I don't mind it from anybody. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've mostly dated black women, and I don't mind them being a little more loud or a little more assertive. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I'll never say, hey, you can't do this because you're black like me. That sounds like self-hate, So she's speaking her truth, man. Chelsea she's speaking her truth. That's all I got to really say about that, though. We definitely need to stop doing that. We're bashing black women. We're telling them, hey, you're too masculine, and blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, constantly getting them pregnant, constantly creating single mother households. Like, it's just bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we going to do? It's just bad. Black men will say, hey, black women, we don't like the masculine attitude and we don't like the assertiveness, right? They'll say, black women, we don't like the masculine attitude and we don't like you when you being assertive, but they'll gladly take it from a white woman. Chelsea just said, hey, when I'm with black men, they love it. You know what I'm saying? She just said, hey, when I'm with black men, they love my assertiveness. They love that I'm less submissive, right? So there's obviously black men out there that's taking it. And I bet if you ask them, hey, would you take that from a black woman? It's going to be no, because it's self-hate. And it's, if they really admitted it, they would just say, hey, I just don't like black women. That's what they would say. But they're not going to say that because it sounds bad. So yeah, when you hear black men say, oh, we want more femininity and blah, blah, blah. What they really mean is, I just don't want to be with a black woman. That's what they really mean. When black men say, oh, black women aren't feminine, or, oh, they're too assertive. What they really mean is, hey, I just don't want to be with a black woman. But they're not going to say that for some reason. And we know the reason is because they're self-hating. They know it sounds bad. And, so let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm about to be out. I think I did good today. Subscribe, share the video, like. It's been a good episode, in my opinion.